training together with John Wimbers, the Lord let me know and let a number of us know that there would be a season of stigma and accusation, that we would learn how to interact with the Lord in the midst of that 25 years ago, but that would be a training ground for a far more intense season years down the road. And I don't believe we're entering that season of the most intense. I don't think we're in that season. I still think we're some years away from that. But when I reflect on that testimony, which some of you are not familiar with it, others of you, you've heard it many times, I'm just bolstered in my resolve to not be moved by stigma and the accusation that comes when the Lord's favor and the Lord's word is going forth. There will be more resistance. There will be more adversaries. And though we're not in a pronounced season of that this very moment, I believe we were some bit last year, and I believe it's coming more in the years to come, but far more in the future. But it's something I've just set my heart not to be moved back by, that I expect it, not in a martyr complex. I said it's all part of the mandate. I'm not going to take my cues from it. I'm not going to change the messaging because of it. The Lord really emphasized that this was part of the mandate and part of the mission. Top of page 2. I want to talk real briefly about Zechariah chapter 3. And I'm going to have Deborah Hebert come up and share just a few minutes on it, and then Alan a few minutes as well. Then we're going to pray for folks. Because Zechariah 3, I laid it out a bit here. We won't go into a lot of the detail. And you can read the notes. It's a chapter you want to be familiar with. It really is. It was a time of transition in the Old Testament when they were building the house of prayer. In Zechariah 3 and Zechariah 4. Again, I laid out some of the details, so I don't have to cover them. But in the time of transition, we're back about 500 BC, under the leadership of Joshua and Zerubbabel, after the Babylonian captivity, just a little further back from 500 BC. And the Lord was rebuilding the house of prayer. And there were many obstacles, many adversaries. There was compromise that got in. Many delays took place, a lot of frustrations. There were failures. There were lack of resource. Here they were in a supernatural historic moment. Supernatural meaning the Lord poured out such favor and by his Spirit pronounced how important it was for them. And again, it's about 536 BC. They were to go build the house of prayer, build the temple, but it was in the midst of very many troubles and obstacles. And in the midst of that trouble and obstacle, when they were doing it, even though there was supernatural finances and favor and the activity of the Spirit, compromise got in, adversaries rose up in the area, people refused to respond, the people of God, in the right way. All kinds of negatives happened. And the two leaders, Joshua and Zerubbabel, they were really in a time of dismay, going, Lord, this was supposed to be easier. It was supposed to be better. It's so clearly and they were losing their way, and the spirit of accusation and unbelief was really lodged in against them to take them out. And so Roman numeral, let's go down.